Hey, it's all with another video, and today I wanted to do a follow-up on the Fate of Saurfang questline that we're going to be doing as Horde players in the 8.1 Tides of Vengeance patch. This is a follow-up video, so I'm going to have a link below where I have the original playthrough of the questline with my analysis, but today is a follow-up, and it's just a small addition, but it's pretty significant, and it addresses one of the big critiques of this previous iteration of the questline that I looked at on PTR. The critique was all about choice, and let me say this now, there are lots of spoilers and I'm going to get right into it, so beware. Run away if you don't want to get spoiled because this is kind of potentially maybe a big one. So when I first played through this, I was pretty much forced to help Saurfang defeat the Dark Ranger Liana and help her, well, basically help him get away from Sylvanas. Over in the comments, people were pretty pissed off about not having the choice to either just not choose to fight or to even take up arms against Saurfang himself. This is a separate issue from the hey, I'm with Saurfang or hey, I'm with Sylvanas camp. This is more about having that lack of choice and otherwise the story happening right before your eyes and you're not able to do anything about it. So the change that we see here in the PTR is pretty subtle, but this can lead into something that is almost game-changing depending on the kind of perspective that you want to play as a Horde character. So anyway, going back to this questline, you get to the point where you talk to Dark Ranger Liana and you find out pretty much where Saurfang is. Liana leaves and Zakan shows up to warn you, the Horde champion, that hey, I know where Saurfang is and the war chief is going to betray him and we've got to help him. Previously, we just picked up a quest and proceeded. This time though, the following choice is added. We can choose to say, I will not betray my war chief, troll. This isn't just a dialogue, you're prompted with a warning. This choice will prevent you from completing the main Fate of Saurfang quests and will grant you an alternative quest instead. This is pretty big. This is one of those very few moments in the world of Warcraft where we're offered an actual choice. How do we want the story to play out? Do we want to help Saurfang or do we not? Because this choice can have some far-reaching repercussions. I went back to double check, and if you just decide to proceed through the questline as normal, it goes just the way it did before, with no additional choices, and you are already going down what I suppose is in fact the main path. Helping out Saurfang is more than likely going to be the canon, the accepted path, as if this is going to be in the Chronicle book, whenever that comes out. There's a little bit of fun with going against the grain. If you choose this dialogue option and you hit accept, you're locked. This is it. You receive a new quest for the Queen. You chose not to side with the traitor Saurfang and his troll lackey. Now that you know where Saurfang is and who is with him, you should report to Sylvanas to see if she has any further orders. So you go back to Orgrimmar, talk to Sylvanas, and she informs you that Liana, the Dark Ranger that accompanied with you, had just left, presumably to go to Swamp of Sorrows. She also basically tells you that you're not going to go. She says, your hands should not, in any case, be bloodied in this confrontation. You are to remain a hero, golden, in the eyes of the people, as we have need of. So here's what's kind of interesting. Regardless of the choice that we make, Saurfang's fate, at least thus far, remains the same. It's just a matter of whether or not we're helping him out. However, even though Saurfang's fate remains the same, your relationship with him and Zakan are more than likely going to be changed. I mean, Saurfang might see things a different way. He's like, okay, well, you know, the war chief is wrong, but you're acting honorably by doing what she says and yada yada yada. But there's no doubt in my mind that this choice is going to once again polarize players, and I kind of find that entertaining to see. What this does not do, though, is shave any of my personal suspicion that Matthias Shaw and the Alliance are somehow behind some sort of Alliance plot, some way to destabilize the Horde from within, effectively taking advantage of Saurfang, whether he's willing or not, to turn against the war chief, split up the Horde, and make the Horde overall weaker. Overall though, with this simple inclusion, I'm a lot more happy with this questline because once again it gives players a bit of a choice as to how they want to proceed, because it's doing something like betraying the war chief or betraying a long-storied character like Saurfang it's not a small deal. This is big, and writing out the story is one thing, but when we're participating in it pretty directly, having little bits of choices like this matter. And I appreciate that this was added in, and I'm not gonna fool myself, I'm pretty sure that this was probably meant to be added in the first place anyway. Unfortunately, the questline ends here. There is no follow-up. There is one little thing though, one last thing that Sylvanas says when you complete this quest. She says, "And as for that troll you mentioned, I have special plans for him." So from the sounds of it, Zakan is in trouble. The way that this story plays out doesn't seem all that right at the moment, because when you first talk to Zakan over in Redridge and you reject him, you just kind of walk away. There's no confrontation or any sort of trade of dialogue. You just leave and come back here, and you're not sure if Zakan is going to return to Orgrimmar, knowing what you know, what he knows, and what'll be different if you happen to go through the main storyline. Because when you go through that storyline, Sylvanas is pretty obviously suspicious of your actions. I would love to hear your thoughts in this slight change of development. I think it makes this questline a lot more interesting and fun, and this could potentially deliver on something interesting or possibly very tragic for a certain troll. So we'll find out. Probably not during this patch, but I'm looking forward to the future, and just tune in and I'll be happy to cover it for you. Like and subscribe to support the channel so I can keep giving you this and all things Warcraft. But I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.